Alright guys, H here with a review on 3 of the most common grips in the market for gymnastics and bar work. Let's go. So the first grip I'm going to be reviewing today is a 3-finger RooGrip. It's a kangaroo leather grip. RooGrips are quite a thin grip because they are leather. They're designed to stretch once you wear them in. So these are a good grip because they're quite thin, so you can still have a good feel on the bar. But because they are kangaroo leather, they still offer good protection to your hands. Probably the best thing about this grip I find is actually the band. It's a really strong neoprene band with great Velcro, so it's not going to come undone on you. And the neoprene's really comfortable on your wrist. The biggest downfall I'm going to say is actually this little metal ring on the band. It becomes quite uncomfortable on your wrist. After a while it starts to cut into your wrist. So I had problems with that. I've used these grips for maybe 3 months now, and once you're doing quite a few sets on the bar, your wrist starts to get some cuts in it from this metal. So one thing I do now, if I ever wear these, is I wear a set of sweatbands underneath just to protect my wrist a bit more. But because they're a bit thinner, they do seem to twist after a couple of sets. They start to twist to the side, which can kind of get a little bit annoying, so you often have to twist them back. The idea of these is the grip actually folds over the bar, creates a fold like this, and then it helps take some of the weight, so there's not as much strain on your fingers and your palms, so the grip is taking the weight. And these neoprene wrist straps really help with that, so they're not uncomfortable at all. One thing I don't like about these is because they're leather, they get super slippery. 3 months of these and they're literally like silk. They're so smooth. You definitely have to chalk these up. Easy to take on and off. If you want to do quick sets on the rower and the ski, you can quickly flick them off your fingers, back on, straight back on the bar. So they're definitely the fastest of the 3 grips to get on and off. And I'd say the most comfortable wristband, but that strap is quite, the little ring is probably the biggest downfall. Like hopefully maybe in some future models they incorporate a little pad under that, like the BearKomplex grips, which I'll show you later, which protects your wrist there. If you were to use these on the rings, you're just going to slip off. You need lots of chalk on them. You're probably better, I'd prefer not to wear a grip than wear these on the rings. So good on the bar, good on the barbell, dumbbell, not good on the rings. The next grips are the Victory Grip Stealth 3-finger. So these aren't actually leather, they're made of a synthetic material, so they don't stretch. They're probably the thickest grips out of the 3. They actually fold as well, so then you get an extra protection on your palms. Some people might not like how thick they are. I've been using these for a couple of months and they're really great. I do like using these, especially on the bar, because they give you that extra protection so you can do a few more sets, a few more reps without worrying about ripping your hands, which is really important. The strap on these is really good too. The whole grip is actually like one piece. So the strap goes straight through the grip and it just wraps around. So you don't have any issues with any metal rubbing onto your wrists, giving you cuts, because it's all one piece of material, which is really good. And the Velcro seems to be really strong and sturdy. They also wrap around the side of your palm, so to give you some false grip protection. So these are definitely a set you can use on the rings. These ones you got to wear right up, pushed up against the top of your wrist here, because they fold over the bar, so then it takes a lot of the pressure onto your wrist and takes it off your palm. These grips aren't quite as fast to get on and off as the RooGrips if you want to get on the ski, the rower, but they're still easy enough to get on and off that it is doable. You can spin them around fairly easy as well, which is handy. It's probably the biggest downfall of these grips when you're doing a long workout. They do hold the water. Once you get sweaty, they seem to hold the sweat and they don't dry quickly. I've got to leave these out of my bag for a couple of hours to dry after a workout, whereas the RooGrips don't seem to hold any water at all really. They don't really lose any grip once they get wet. When using these grips, your palms just feel so much more protected. You can definitely do way more sets than with the RooGrips. My hands seem to just get much sorer quicker with the RooGrips. The last set of grips I'm going to go through is the BearKomplex Carbons. It's another 3-hole set of grips. These are a really great grip. They're leather on the inside. The outside has a sort of carbon matte finish. In terms of grip, they're pretty amazing. Like that carbon, it somehow just helps you really grip the bar. The texture is really quite grippy. You don't really need chalk on these at all, and if you were to put chalk on them, they'd be so sticky. A couple of things that I like about these is The band has a pad under it, so it's pretty much the same kind of metal ring as the RooGrip, but they've incorporated a pad under it, so you don't get any of that cutting on your wrist, which is perfect. They don't hold as much water as the Victory Grips. They are leather on the inside, so after a while they will retain a bit of water from sweat, but because of that carbon finish on the outside, it's a bit more of like a plasticky kind of finish. It tends to protect it from the outside, so it doesn't seem to seep through, so you definitely won't lose any grip on these. The Velcro seems to be the worst of the three. It seems a little bit more cheaply made. You can see where it joins, and it doesn't seem to stick as well. It doesn't feel like it's going to last that long, this Velcro. I mean, if you had this grip on the band of the RooGrip or the Victory Grip, it would be pretty amazing. Getting them on and off can be quite tricky because the Velcro is quite clunky. It slips out pretty far, and then they've got a really small finger hole, so you've got to really push it through to get them on and pull the Velcro through, so it gets stuck like that on there. And in terms of speed, if you were to transfer from going to a ski or row, they're really slow to get on and off. So this isn't a grip that's great for transferring between different components of a workout, but on the bar, amazing. They're a little bit shorter than the other three as well. So you have the option of folding them over, but you can also use them as just like a straight grip, kind of like the jaw grips. So just straight over, protect the hand. They seem to have a little bit of false grip protection here, and these grips are also really great for the rings because of the grip they've got. Yeah, so as I said, the grip on these is amazing. No need for chalk at all. They're so grippy, that carbon mat. So I'll just give you a quick look at the thicknesses of each grip. The thinnest grip of them all is the RooGrip. As you can see, it doesn't really hold its structure too well, but that's because it's leather and it's designed to stretch, so it's super thin, like it's probably a mil thick. The mid-range one is the BearKomplex, which I think is a great thickness. It's in between the two. It's still quite sturdy, probably like 2 mils. And then the thickest is the Victory Grip, which is probably another 0.5 mil thicker than the BearKomplex, and it's a very sturdy grip. So that's going to offer the most protection. The 3 grips are all actually based at the same price point. They're all $80 Australian. I'll put a link in the description to where you can buy them from. So overall, they're all great grips, and it comes down to personal preference, whether you want better feel on the bar, more protection, better grip, because each of these offer a different element of that. My least favorite of the 3 is going to be the RooGrip, just because of cuts your hand, doesn't offer that much protection or grip, but great feel on the bar. And then it comes down to between the BearKomplex and the Victory Grip. It's a tough one. Like, I really love the Victory Grip. They offer so much protection, and the BearKomplex offers great grip and still great protection. But I just feel like the build quality isn't quite as good. My personal preference of the 3 grips is the Victory Grip. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you like what you saw, give it a like, comment or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.